What's up?
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, you all, I'm back with another episode of James Massey Live where we're interviewing agents that's killing it within their industry to provide tremendous value to the real estate agent that's looking to grow, build, and take their business to the next level. And I am here with my good friend Nikki. And she's coming in and she's going to be talking a little bit about how she grew her business and and how she connected and made alliances with people, and she's continued to make alliance with folks, growing her business, but also helping them to grow their business as well. So before we get started and get into that topic in of itself, Nikki, can you tell everybody about the journey for those that don't know, like how did you get into this real estate space?
How much time do we have? I, be- I know there's a joke going around. They told me they've been in the business 20 years, 15 years. I'm like, that's me. I do it. I do that. I remind people a lot, but because we earned it, right? Like
Yep.
we've been here for a while. We have seen some things, but yeah, I actually got started as an investor in '05. Uh, I kind of wanted to get my license at the time, but as I got into the investment game, um, you know, at the time I felt like maybe it was a little safer for me legally. If I did not have my real estate license, I would not be putting myself, out there as much uh, legally, I guess. So, but as time went on, the '08 '09 thing happened. I'm literally the poster child for the '08 '09 crash. It was that was my I got baptized by fire right there into real estate. I learned way too much, more than anybody needs to ever probably learn about real estate. I don't know. And then just really soon after that, I thought, okay, I'm getting licensed because I did not. I was kind of too smart for my own good at the time. Like I knew how to get in the game. I knew how to. I made a little money, but I did not get to keep it because I didn't see the pitfalls. I didn't understand the full picture. And so once I came out on the other side of that, I really thought, okay, this is something that this can be my thing. I understand. I know where the pitfalls are. I know where people can be shady, not tell the truth. Kind of where I was naive before. I didn't have any of that in real estate left at all. I knew what the dangers were, and I wanted to help other people, especially when I saw young people and uh, going into just even buying their home and knowing where they could get taken advantage of. So I became really protective of other people and like my clients and really wanting to. It just became a challenge for me to see how many people that I can make sure that they get to, know, buy either home ownership or invest and be safe while they're doing it. So, and then from there, a lot of things have happened since then. I've had, um, I feel like I've had a lot of success. I've enjoyed it. I've come a long way since then. And I, started out just as a solo agent. The year my daughter was born, 15, I started my first team and just kind of grew things from there. I've done different team models. I've had my own teams, and then I just recently joined a team in in a bigger market, um, in the DFW market, and we're expanding it here. So a lot.
Lot, yes, a lot,
That's
lot.
only like this much of it, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that's why I always ask the question because, like, real estate, is a journey. That business is a journey. You start off at one place, and you never end up, in that same place. So, like, you're always going through and you're traveling, and people look back and they see where you are, and they think that you just always been there. But no, it's things that happen. It's situations that kind of shaped you, and decisions that was made to get you to where you are. And just kind of speaking on that '08 '07. time frame. Like we're in a different little market right now. So how do you think some of the things that you learned in that particular time is helping you right now with what's going on with this market shift?
Oh, well, this one's not phasing me as much as maybe some other people. That's the good news. Once you get through something like that, you're, you're not, no, I'm not going to say there's not some challenges and things that get frustrating and whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I've survived way worse. I'm not going to say I did not necessarily thrive during that time, but I know this, that in real estate, I tell agents a lot that it's like the show Survivor. You just you really, the only goal is to just outlast.
Yeah.
If you survive it, and if even if you go through some seasons and some markets and it's literally just survival mode, just get through it, because if you come out on the other side of it, I mean, I don't know if this is appropriate for a podcast, but I say all the weak agents, they run around, they run away crying like little girls, and you'll come out and you'll have all the business, and yeah, it's tough for a minute, and different markets right now are different, so I might be speaking to some agents and not others, but for me, it's just literally just outlast whatever you got to do to just come out on the other side of every single market, because yeah, this one might be not very fun, and then the next one's going to be real fun. So you just got to get there, do whatever you can to get there.
Yeah. I mean, are you doing more like, because I know a lot of agents, what they end up doing is they go in harder for their marketing. They'll go in harder for making phone calls, harder for some of the stuff they might have neglected in a better market, but they're just doing more of it to gain more market share. So when things do switch around,
Yeah,
the business is mostly theirs.
right. This is the time when anytime you go through a harder market, that's you double down or triple. Um, so that's, for me, that's go all in. That's if you're the way you market is social media, you better be posting every single day. I don't care if somebody says you're an over poster. Okay, well, so be it, because it's better than being poor. So,
Love it.
I mean, like, you just got to get to where you don't care what people think. You're all in, and this is because that's why, because right now is when a lot of agents are pulling back on their uh, marketing and lead gen, and they're spending less dollars. So this is when you spend more dollars and get more leverage, and um, sometimes it'll feel like it's not working, but it absolutely will. It'll all come flooding in at one time, right? But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, and that's what a lot of people that I'm dealing with, and just pushing at this particular market, like pushing harder. Like you said, like even if you're not seeing it right away, you're gonna see it, and and word of the day is better than being poor. Do what you got to do, because it's better than being poor, right? So even if you don't like it, because it's better than
even if
being
it
poor.
yeah,
So
no, you may not like it, and I mean, it's funny because I am a naturally born introvert. I'm not, and I was not born an extrovert. I did not feel comfortable with a lot of things for marketing that I started a couple of years ago. But when you start making money and you start realizing, okay, this works, then you make sacrifices.
yeah.
You do what you got to do, and um, you know things get weird. It's okay.
Yeah, you
Just keep.
start making those adjustments. I always say I'm an introvert, but I'm more, my opportunist in me will allow me to,
Right.
stay to my natural effect, because like, there's always something else that I'm reaching towards or trying to strive towards, or trying to get to. So
Yeah.
um so tell me, like, all right, so I mean, we're talking about like some of the things like alliances, right? And me and you, we connected, and we were able to talk, and and share ideas and information amongst each other. Tell me, how have you benefited from some of the alliances that you connected with, and then also how have you been able to actually translate that to other people so that they can benefit as well?
Well, it goes back to again the show Survivor, right? Like you have to have the right alliances. You have to be really smart how you're playing the game, and you got to be really careful who you connect your business with. Like it's everything. It will make or break you. Those alliances are everything in this game. So I don't know how. I don't even know why I keep bringing up Survivor. I don't even. That was a lot. Half the agents now probably have never even seen the show, but
It
um,
was a good show, though. I mean,
it's and it has so many like parallels. I think for real estate, honestly, like there's a lot there, but we won't. That'll be another show for another time. I should just do a whole podcast about it. But anyway, yeah, those alliances. So for a long time, I had. This is where people talk about good versus great. You can have good alliances. You can have people in your corner that are good people. You can have they can have a good heart. They can have they can want what's best for you. Maybe they just don't necessarily have what you need to pull from in your alliances. I recommend to agents to really look outside of their current circle of friends and real estate friends and real estate peers, and to really venture out into the world and go find as many people as you can connect with and draw from, learn from their experiences. Um, I the book Who Not How.
yeah,
So if you're looking for your who's, if you're not asking the question how or what or where, and you're asking who, you need as many who's as possible. So that might not be just in your local city, right? You got to go find the people that you're gonna align yourself with that you want to be like them. And so that's how you and I connected. We connected in a group of people that's what I was doing. I was searching for that group of people. I remember the first day I like I said, I ventured out. I knew that I needed to go out and search for the who's in my life that were going to bring me into kind of like my calling and where I needed to be. And I was not there. I knew I was not there. And I knew that I didn't have the right people around me at the time to help me get there. Um, so I remember finding that group, and I remember just being in shock in that, and it was a mastermind group, but just looking around the room and being like, oh my God, what am I doing here? This is the wrong, I am in the wrong room. I do not belong here. I don't deserve to be here. But I just looking around the room at the caliber of agents that were in that specific room. And then it took me a few minutes and I started to realize, no, this is what you've been looking for. This is what you've been working towards. This is what you've been trying to find. And this is the exact right room. You're doing the exact right thing. Like you went out and you're supposed to not be the smartest person in the room. I prefer to be the least intelligent, the least smart person in the entire room, because you have a room full of people to pull from. It's not that difficult for me and some of us, but I that became kind of like my just my daily goal, was just always looking for people that knew so much more than I did to go and listen to and pull from. So those, like I said, those alliances are everything. You got to find the rooms full of people, not just the rooms full of people that you can pull from that know more than you do, but the ones that are willing to take you with them on the journey, and that are just like, I tell people all the time, in that specific room we had a portion of the session was, essentially, if you could do anything in your life, money was no object, what would you be doing? If you had no fear, what would you be doing? Kind of that conversation. And then as we were saying these things out loud, speaking things that out loud that we had never, probably a lot of people in that room had not had the courage or bravery to actually say, like, it's in here, but we weren't brave enough to tell other people. As we were saying them, I was watching just the excitement build in the room of, okay, all right, let's do that. How are we going to do that? How do we do that? And so people were just, it's, it's, it's a certain caliber of people I don't even know actually how to verbalize it, but just you're looking for a group of people that want to band together and make things happen. And when they see other people that aren't just dreamers, but they're passionate about making things happen, then it things will just explode. They just come together and it's everything. So it's the most important thing in your business.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, it was the same experience for me when I was in the same room. So it's magical. It's one of those things, like you said, it's hard to put the words,
Yeah,
you know, that type situation and what was going on. But it's the funny part about that whole thing, like you said, like you're in there, you're looking around. It's like, man, do I belong? And a lot of people, they ask that question, like, do I really belong in the situation? And I just think the answer is, you have to answer your own question, and that answer has to be yes. And one of the things that happens, what I've experienced is that you start to elevate to the room, right? Because you're around everybody else, you're seeing what's happening, and you're understanding things, and you come back a different person, and you start to elevate to what it is that you're surrounding, and you're elevating not only yourself, but you're elevating your team members, you're elevating other agents around you. You get to a point where you take the lid off the top,
yeah.
simply because you're around people that they've already crashed through those walls and done some of the things that you want to do. So
And you got to find in within those alliances, you got to find people that have no quit. That's another just important. They just, my grandma used to say, they don't have any quitting sense. They got no quitting sense. Like have no idea when it's time to quit, because it's that again. That's another just really important factor, that no matter what goes on, you have just a pool of people that you can contact. It they're like in your phone, that you're ready to quit and they're not going to let you. And because again, that's like, it's everything. It's
yeah,
is the name of the game is to survive. To stay in the game as long as possible, get to where you're thriving as quickly as possible, collapse time, expedite things, you know what I mean? But that's all of that. It just finding the right alliances takes care of all of those things. Fixes,
so now I know what you're doing. You're aligning yourself with other agents and helping them out. Like what are some of the what is your process now with assisting the agents that you connect with, to take their business to the next level in order for them to grow?
so I'm actually in a transition period right now with that. I have been, for me, I was not really as focused as other agents on bringing on agents and training them, and I had a handful, that I was doing that with. It's growing, and as it's growing, I have both I've looked at a lot of different options, and I want, for me, I want agents to be facilitated to the highest level that I trust is the most beneficial for them. Um, I always think of it, and I've thought about doing this too. I've thought about writing a book to myself as a new agent, and that would help all agents. There's so many things I want to go back and tell myself as a brand new agent, and I kind of use that as, I actually wrote the whole book out on a giant whiteboard. Um, so it's in here, and I know I communicate it to agents a lot, um, that are new or newer than, or maybe just they haven't been there as long as I have. But um, so right now, an opportunity has come along where I am bringing agents in. I'm helping to facilitate them in their first few transactions. And then from there, I am plugging them into other groups to give them other basically alliances that they can benefit from, based on what what their goals are in their life. So they're, different people, different agents. That's one thing that it's not a one size fits all industry by any means, and where what everybody wants to grow into. Um, it may not all be at the same brokerage. It may not all be, some people just need to be. I think teams are an absolute gift from God when they're run correctly. And then there are some people that is just not, that does not fit in with what their goals are. Um, I am an agent and have been an agent for a long time. That my goals are not very similar to a lot of other agents' goals. What I consider success is not the same thing as other people might consider success for their life. So it's been hard for me to find good fits, for what my goals are, because I don't always, I just I see success as a different thing for me. And honestly, that's another good reason to have alliances with the right people, because they can show you those things. Um, you might be on somebody else's path for way too long, in other
Yeah.
words. And I'll be honest, that happened to me for the first few years in my career, because you have these leaders that want good things for you and they want to pull you along, and they might want to pull you along on their path, and your path might not be their path. Your path to success might be here and theirs is here, and you're, so excited to be in the game and working with certain people, and the next thing you know, you're off on their path. And that's happened to me. So for right now, I've really switched into, to being more, caring more about what their individual goals are, trying to set them on the right path specifically for what their goals are. If it's a team, I have great contacts and great teams that they can be in, and not every team is for every person either.
Yeah.
So it's really good to sit and get with agents and really get to know them and what it is they're wanting to accomplish. Um, because if you can get the earlier in the game that you can get them on the right path, the better for them. They'll stay happier. They'll stay happier longer, and they'll, um, accomplish a lot more, a lot faster when they're, when they know they're on the right path to what it is they're trying to accomplish, to whatever success is to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really do think that's a key point, because, a lot of times, you do just end up following somebody else's path, and go their goals, and not understanding your goals, or somebody else's goals for that fact. It's so many people. Like, I'm not gonna forget. Like, early on, I just thought that everybody wanted to sell 100 plus homes a year. And so I'm talking to folks. I'm like, hey, this is what you got to do to sell 100 homes. This is what you got to do to sell 100 homes. This is how you go to 200 homes. So it was always a push thing. And it wasn't until I started to have to realize, like, hey, man, what if somebody didn't want that? What if their thing was just to make $70,000 a year, $100,000 a year, whatever it is. It doesn't mean that they're less than than what my goals are, or what somebody else's goal is. As long as they're happy and they're going down their path and they're doing their thing, and I'm able to help them to achieve what they want to achieve instead of what I want to achieve, then that's a win for that particular agent. It may not be a win for me, but that's okay. So
Well,
uh,
and some people don't even know what that goal is, because they, like you said, they think that their goal, that was me. I thought my goal had to be, just a little story. The first coach that I got asked me what my goal was, and I said, "Well, I want to be the number one agent in my market." And he said, "No, what are your goals?" "I want to be the number one agent in my market." And he was like, "Okay, well, if that's your only goal, I mean, that's easy. We can make that happen, but let's talk about that for a while." We talked about it for months,
hmm,
and then I found out that's not even close to being my goal. I don't care anything about being the number one agent in my market. I was just thought that was what I was supposed to say, you know. Um, And so, you know, helping people get to a point where they can answer that question too is that, you know, aligning with a good coach is probably really key. I know a lot of things that helped me a lot early on.
That might be number one.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, if you say you can't afford a coach, you better figure out how to, because you, again, you'll be on the wrong path for a very long time, doing all the wrong things, exhausting yourself, and not even happy about it.
Absolutely. So, all right. So we got a couple of minutes here, Nikki. So tell me, like, all right. So for an agent, or I mean, it can be a team, it can be somebody that's looking to grow, somebody that's just trying to, like you said, survive. What's some advices? I mean, I know we're talking about like just a coach, mentor, alliance. What are some of the things that you would suggest that person to do to get in front of the right people? Because I think a lot of people, they know they need a mentor or want a mentor, but what are some of the things that you do to actually reach out to get in front of the right folks that's going to be able to help you in your business, your life, your goals, and everything else?
Well, for me, and I kind of, you gotta, I don't mean experiment, but experiment. I mean, you've got to get out and really get around as many people as possible. Um, I kind of think of it like I was I was thinking about this the other day. It's kind of like when you're really young and okay, let's talk like dating. Okay, so like you're
Mhm.
really young and you live in a small town and you've got this group of 5 people that are potential partners in life, and you pick from those 5, and then a couple years later things aren't working out very well. You went out and experienced dating 2 or 3 people and picked from that pool, and there's a whole world out there.
Yeah.
There was a whole world out there that could have been better fits, right? So I don't know if that's a good example or not, but that's kind of how I think of it. You need to get out and meet as many individuals in this industry that are successful, and look and see, are they happy? Are they happy in their life? Do they, in you know not just in their career, in their life, what do they have success in? um and then you got to go get in front of them, get out there, get in front of those people, start conversations, and find, you'll know when you find the right ones, because it's just, you feel the alignment with the right people. Again, looking for the who's that. um, when you start thinking of things like that, when you start thinking of how or who, not how, you will start to feel it when you're around them. You will know when you're with like-minded people who have the right mentality, and your mentality will start to shift, and you'll feel it. You'll know. But first and foremost, you need to be talking to a lot of people, a lot of conversations, um, and 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 then find those people who are getting in the boat with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, are you like, are you finding the people that are like, yeah, yeah, I'll help you. Like, don't worry. They're kind of saying it, but you're not really feeling the action. They're not taking the action steps, I guess I'm saying, to actually schedule the time with you and to help. And you get with those people, you'll find your coaches and your mentors. Find the people that are passionate about it, that are passionate about seeing your goals come to life. You know,
Love it. Love it. Well, I mean, I definitely appreciate you, Nikki. Like, just for your friendship, but then also for just coming on and just kind of sharing like your journey, your story with everybody. I mean, I know everybody got a lot out of it. I got a lot out of it, so I know everybody else did. So, once again, like we do these every Thursday at 11 o'clock, where we're interviewing an agent that's killing it with their industry in order to provide tremendous value to the real estate agent that's looking to grow and actually build. So once again, like if you want to know more about how you can partner up with Nikki, how you can partner up with me. You can reach out to her directly. You can reach out to me, jameshmassey.com. And, we're both open books, really want to share and really want to help, people to hit and their goals, not our goals. So just remember that aspect of it. So any parting words before we jump out of here?
I'll just add to that. I was going to say this earlier, and I started talking about something else. Getting better rooms with better people. That's exactly where I started on the right journey. That was the right one for me. I got in better rooms with better people, and the next thing you know, you will be on the right path. You'll figure it out.
Love it. Love it. Better rooms with better people. Love it. Appreciate you, Nikki. Hey, until the next time, looking to see you as shareholders, okay?
All right. See you later.